Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. I am so glad that you are here. If you are new and this is your first time stopping by my channel, thank you so much. My name is Barbara. I live in Tennessee in Zone 7B. And on this channel, we talk about primarily gardening, but really we dabble into all the homesteading things. We do DIY, sourdough bread, cooking from scratch, and lots of food preservation, because once you grow it, you need to eat it, preserve it, and make sure that you have it in your pantry, freezer, and all those things. So I'm glad that you stopped by today. Today is a beautiful day. It is very, very windy today. So hopefully we will make it through this video, but it is like 80 degrees, literally 80 degrees. And it's really, really warm in the greenhouse. So we're going to start out here. But today's video, I'm just taking you along with me, and we're going to be getting our stuff ready for the summer garden. So we're going to start in the high tunnel. So for those that are new, we have three main growing spaces here on our property that we grow on. We have a high tunnel that we grow in year round. It is 30 by 96. We also have an outside in-ground garden that's 4,000 square feet. We use that only in the summer. And then we also have raised beds behind our house, 5 raised beds, which is where the garden started, and then we expanded. And behind the house, we plant there in the summer, and in the fall we have our garlic, and in the spring we do our onions. So out of those 3 spaces, when it comes to the summer garden, the high tunnel is the first place that we start planting. And then the outside garden is number 2. And then the beds behind the house are number 3. So today's video is focused on getting space number 1 ready to go. So we are right now about 2.5 weeks before our last frost date. Estimated last frost date, but obviously in a high tunnel we have a little bit more flexibility because it will be a little bit warmer in there, and we can put sides down and kind of trap the heat in, and it's a little bit more palatable than just planting outside. So even though I may not plant outside on the estimated last frost date, I will plant in the tunnel before that. So I got to get some spaces ready. You've seen on previous videos we have gotten some of the raised beds ready. So today we're going to focus on another raised bed and getting that prepped and ready to go. And then also we're going to get our blueberry bushes hopefully ready to bear fruit this spring. And then we have some plants that we're going to plant in one of the beds and all of that. So packed video, we're just going to go around and get stuff ready. Now, because gardening is not my full-time job, and because I have a lot of space to cover, I have to break it up into chunks in terms of getting things ready. If I were to come down here to try to get the whole high tunnel ready for the summer garden to plant, it would be hours upon hours upon hours. And so, like, you know, I've already started, and today is just another day to add to that work, and eventually all the work will be done. But I have to take it chunk by chunk. I say that because I know that many of you, again, have hobby farms. You're gardening on the side. It's a pleasure thing for you. It's not your full-time job. And so you may feel sometimes overwhelmed that you can't get it all done. I completely understand that. I always say, do what you can do and try to do it in chunks if you can. If you only have 30 minutes, you will be amazed at what you can do in 30 minutes. You can weed a bed. You can start seeds. You can plant some things. Like there's power in 30 minutes. There is power in 30 minutes. So don't hesitate to, if you only have 30 minutes, still go out to your garden and do some things, because the more you do, eventually it'll just all come together. So I hope that your gardens are doing well. I know that some of you, your last frost date in 8A has already passed, so you are already chomping at the bit to plant your garden. So I hope that things are going well. Also, I want to mention on this video that GREENSTALK is having a sale going on right now. You can use my code LFF10 for an extra $10 off any order that is $75 or more. Right now, they are having a 20% off sale on everything on the site, excluding gift cards. But everything else is 20% off. They are celebrating the owner's 50th wedding anniversary. So if you want to take part of that sale, go ahead and go to GREENSTALK and grab you whatever you need for your summer garden. So I think the first place we're going to do is let's go out to the outside garden. We're going to go ahead and water out here and see how things are looking. And then there is one bed out here that we want to plant some stuff in. So let me grab that stuff and we'll go ahead and start out here in the outside garden. you can see that our 3 beds of onions are doing very, very well, which is good. You can see that they're growing nicely. So they're all watered in, but we're going to focus on planting this little short metal raised bed here. I think this is a it may be like a 2x4 if I'm not mistaken. I don't remember, but it's smaller than the rest of these. So we're going to plant some herbs in here to fill up this bed. I originally was going to do flowers. I'm going to get another short one like this to add to the collection, and I'll do flowers there. But I think for now I'm going to do herbs because that's what I have ready. One of the first things I'm going to plant is lemon thyme. I bought this just from Home Depot. I grew thyme, but not lemon thyme. And so I'm going to pop this in here. I love the flavor and smell of lemon thyme. Oh, it smells so, so, so good. So we're going to put her right here in the corner. And then we're going to plant some calendula. I have several calendula here, and they definitely need to be potted up. So we're going to put some calendula out here. Let's see how I want to do this. I think, so I'm also going to put lavender in this bed. I left the lavender up at the house. It's in another tray. So I'm going to put some lavender in here. Lavender and calendula, I read they do well together. I've never grown calendula. This is my first time, and I got plenty of it. It was great on germination. So I'll probably put the lavender in the middle. So I'm going to do the calendula like right here. Now in the summertime when the temperatures drop, this of course gets direct sun. I've heard that calendula likes more of cooler temperatures. They don't necessarily like extreme heat, but we'll see what happens. We will see what happens. So I think I'll pop a couple of calendulas in here and go from there. Okay guys, so next we're going to plant this beautiful celery. So I did grow celery, and it's so funny how things work. So I did grow celery, and I do have some planted. You and I planted together maybe a couple of weeks ago in one of these raised beds. And when I was out here literally just yesterday, I was like, the celery is sure like, it's just like still small, the same size as when I planted it. It's taken a while to grow. And I thought, okay, I only had like 3 or 4 celery. So I saw this at Home Depot, and y'all know I grow 99%. I start from seed 99% of the stuff that I plant. So like that lemon thyme I bought. And so I will buy things throughout the season that either A, I couldn't grow, didn't grow, whatever the case may be, don't have. So I will buy some things. And of course, I mean, I'm a gardener, y'all. So when you see all the plants, you just get excited. They even had, y'all, at my Home Depot, they had plants, tomato plants for 98 cents. It was a single plant. They had Better Boy. They had a container plant and another kind. It was 3 different kinds for 98 cents. Now that's a deal. That is a straight, I don't know why. It was, and I had to tell myself, girl, you don't need any tomato plants. You got almost 300. Now I should have bought the patio tomato plant. I might go back and get that one because I can put that in my GREENSTALK. I can put the big one in my GREENSTALK too, but I've never done a patio container, small size tomato. So I just want to do it just to say that I did. But anyway, pro tip. So when I do go and buy plants from, especially like Home Depot, like those bunny plants, it's like $5.98. Like that lemon thyme was $5. It was $4.98. But I don't have any lemon thyme. I've never had any lemon thyme seeds, but I've always bought the lemon thyme plant, and it was a nice size, so I went ahead and bought it. This right here was the same price. It was $4.98, but 6 plants. So that's how I do it. If I'm gonna buy the bunny plants, I try to get a 6-pack. So then I don't feel like I'm being robbed, because $1 a plant, okay, I'll do that all day long. And this celery is far ahead of mine, so it should grow quite beautifully. But the thing is, I came out here about where we're gonna plant it, and y'all, my celery, like overnight, is like, you cheating on us? Why you cheating on us? Because we gonna do the thing. Just pump your brakes. Just hold on. So let me show you my celery. Let me show you my celery, so that we can say I did grow celery, and I did it last year. But y'all, I saw this and I'm like, oh, 6 for $6. Let me get that. And it is pretty. Let me show you mine. So here is my celery. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Like it wasn't that big yesterday, but now it's like, girl, we coming to the party. Just pump your brakes. But we're gonna add the celery to this bed. I'm gonna put 3 in here, and I'm gonna save 3 to put outside my house in the raised beds behind my house. So let's get these planted. But y'all, my bed right here is coming together. Look at this spinach, y'all. If you've been here, you know I did this spinach in September. It's the same plant that was not doing anything. And as soon as I took the Brussels sprouts out of here, they decided, we here. So first spinach I've had all season. And there's another celery back here. I had more than I thought. That's okay. That is okay. Because last year, y'all, I didn't even preserve any celery, except I freeze dried some, and like enough for like a bag or a jar, and I use that up pretty quickly. So my goal is to definitely preserve more. Okay, so our next project today is to try to revitalize our blueberry bushes. So to kind of bring you up to speed, I've never grown blueberry bushes before. So last year I bought 3 blueberry bushes, and I had them in containers, and they had a couple of like real tiny minuscule blueberries, not anything that you can eat. But obviously everything that I read says they don't fruit the first year, they fruit the second year. So that is this year. You guys gave me some suggestions about what to do, is to acidify the soil and put some peat moss in it, and an acidic fertilizer like Hollytone. So that's what we're going to do today, and see if we can get our blueberry bushes to actually produce this year. So y'all, if I missed something, put it down below if anything else that I need to do. But let's work on that. Let me show you what they look like now. So you can see I got to get the weeds out and all that. So I'm going to add some peat moss, and then I bought like something like Hollytone or whatever. And these are just, I think one is a Patriot, if I'm not mistaken. And then I don't remember what the other 2 are called. I got them one from Costco, and then 2 from Costco, and I think 1 was from Tractor Supply. So I'm just getting the weeds up. So we're gonna add some peat moss, the Hollytone type stuff, and then some compost, and then water it and see what happens. I got little buds and stuff on this one. There's nothing happening on that one. And then I got another small one in a grow bag down here. So let me get that stuff. So the first thing I add is a layer of peat moss. I have plenty of peat moss because I use that as part of my seed starting mix in terms of my seedlings. So I put a generous amount around the top layer of each container with the peat moss, making sure that I cover the entire top layer. And then after that, we're going to add in Hollytone, which I bought a generic brand of Hollytone, just simply because it was cheaper, but it had the same ingredients. Hollytone is usually used for azaleas and rhododendrons, and it can also be used for blueberries. I'm telling you what I've read, not necessarily, I haven't done it before, but this is what everything that I read. So I'm putting that in next. Blueberries are an acid-loving plant, just like azaleas and rhododendrons, so that's why they can use the same type of fertilizer. The directions said to use, I think, 2 tablespoons if the pot was 8 inches in diameter. This is probably twice that amount, so I just kind of eyeballed it for the equivalent of 4 tablespoons. I don't know that I got it perfectly right, but I'm just kind of mixing that into the top layer of soil in each of the containers and this grow bag right there. So then the third step is, now I'm going to go get the compost so that we can add in compost.
The compost is the final layer on top. So at this point, they have the peat moss, they have the holly tone, and now the compost. I really, really, really hope this works. I would just be so ecstatic if I could have blueberries. When it comes to fruit trees, my knowledge is nil, nada, zero. And so this is my first attempt at trying to learn how to grow any type of fruit. So here's what they look like after. Much better. They were all dry and looked devoid of anything. So now at least they have all those 3 ingredients and topped with a layer of compost, so I'll water it in. Now for our fourth project is I'm going to amend this bed. In this bed right now are carrots and cilantro and some dill. But after those things are done from the spring, we'll be adding in summer crops. So I just took the opportunity to go ahead and amend this bed because there's nothing in the middle. It's kind of easy to go ahead and do while plants are still in there, even though these are not summer veggies. So I'm adding in a layer of worm castings first. And then after this, I'm going to add in a layer of feather meal. I amend my beds each and every season. So this bed has not been amended since September when we put the fall crops in there. The first time that we planted in here for the fall of last year, it was a whole bed full of carrots, and we harvested those back a couple of months ago. And so then I replanted 2 rows of carrots, one on either side, and then just a couple of weeks ago I added in the dill and the cilantro. So I used up the rest of the worm castings in that bed that's right beside it, and then I'm going to get the feather meal. So the reason why I'm adding feather meal is because on my soil test I'm very deficient in nitrogen. Like, it is really, really low. Feather meal is a great amendment if you're low on nitrogen because it is a slow release. And so it's going to release nitrogen to my plants all summer long, which is what I want. If you were to use something else that's more of a faster supplement for nitrogen that they get all the nutrition at one time, you could certainly do that. But feather meal is a great option. Feather meal is nothing but ground up chicken feathers, essentially. But like I said, it's a great source of nitrogen. As you can see the packaging, all the products that I'm using today are from Mindful Farmer. He is a local farmer in Arkansas that I have a couple of his tools, and then he also has some soil amendments that I like. So I'm adding in the feather meal. You can see it's a different color there. And then after that, I'm just going to top it with compost. So that was a half a bag of compost that I had left over. So I spread that out to see what I have left. And then I need to add a full bag to completely cover the bed. But as I'm doing this, the weather started to get really, really crazy. So I actually had to stop right here and get in the house and get secure because the weather kind of just changed out of nowhere.
Okay, guys, it is actually the next day. The weather took a turn, and it actually ended up not being bad, but everything, all the signs said it was about to be bad. So we had a lot of, really, really high winds. It got dark, but there was no tornado that came through. So that was a blessing. We were under a tornado warning really all the way up until 6 o'clock this morning. So I'm thankful that it was a false alarm, but I had to get out of the greenhouse and go on into the house. But in terms of finishing up this video, so what I need to do is definitely put more compost in this bed, but I need my husband to come down here. I am really trying to protect my back. I've been having issues with my back. I have like a herniated disc or whatever, and arthritis in my back, so I have to be really, really careful to not overextend it. And so although I want to get it done, I'm gonna have to wait for my husband. I could do that bag because it was only half full, but to do a full bag, I really need him to carry it and lift it and put it in there. So that's what's next on that. And then in terms of getting the other beds ready, I only have 2 more beds to get ready, which is this one right here that has not been amended as of yet. So in this bed, we still have, I have a Brussels sprout plant, and I have like five or six bok choys, and then I have a cabbage back there. But the rest of the bed is pretty much empty. So that'll be filled with summer veggies. I don't have my crop plan down here, but I think non-spicy peppers are gonna go in that bed there. And then I have this one here that needs to be amended, this is where all of our cabbage was, the red cabbage. specifically was in here. We harvested the red cabbage. I don't think I did that on camera, but we harvested the red cabbage. There's only a lettuce in that bed, so we need to amend this bed. But all of the other beds have been amended because, again, we've been doing it chunk by chunk, piece by piece. So 2 out of the 6 raised beds are left to be amended for the summer. And then all of these holes here. So I have some collard greens back there that I desperately need to get and harvest. And y'all, it is 83 today and it's like 115 in the tunnel. So I came down here to work, but I think I'm gonna have to wait until several hours later when the sun is starting to not go down in terms of dark, but just when it starts to abate some, because it is like really too hot to work in here. But the next video, or probably that you'll see in the next couple of videos, is me getting this space ready, harvesting the greens, and then getting all of these holes ready. I'll talk specifically about what I'm going to amend those with, but it's not going to be much different than what I've already done. So that's pretty much what we're going to get done today. I also did buy some pots from Home Depot, so I'm going to do a couple of herbs in pots, like my lemon balm and things like that. So I'll try to show you that on the next video as well. But thank you guys so much for hanging out with me today, and yesterday I should say, as we just kind of did some spring projects with a little bit amount of time that we had. So I was probably out here 45 minutes to an hour before, I had to get done and go in the house, but it got done. I got something done. And so I am well on the way, little bit by little bit, chunk by chunk. So if you have not subscribed to my channel, I would love for you to subscribe so you can see all the things as we kind of transform this space and get ready for the summer. I hope that your gardens are doing well. Remember, all of this is a journey. Let's grow together. I'll see you next time, friend.